Okay, Rippaverse fans, we need to have a come to Jesus meeting or something because y'all are falling down on the job. Now, I predicted that Isom number 2 was going to make $3.2 million. And right now it seems to be stalled approaching $2.3 million. Now, I don't know if this is dyslexia on y'all's part or if this is just some sort of lack of enthusiasm, but y'all need to get on the ball here. There's only 2 days left in the campaign. Sunday is when Eric July is holding his closeout stream. So, are all of you just planning on flooding that money in this weekend? I hope so, or else I'm going to be wrong, and you know how I hate being told I'm wrong. So, come on, people, what the hell are you waiting for? I mean, he's not going to be introducing any new merchandise into the campaign, so it's not like you're going to be in that position where it's like, oh, if I buy something now, and what if he drops something later? Is he going to combine shipping on it, or am I going to get screwed out of extra shipping? It's crap or get off the pot time, guys. You really need to get your credit cards out and start entering that info. I'm really concerned here because I did not think Isom number 1 was so bad that he was going to lose like half his readership. Now, keep in mind, he had 43,000 orders or purchasers for Isom number 1. Right now, he has not yet broken 20,000 purchasers on Isom number 2. What the hell? I mean, did you not know going in buying Isom number 1 that it was part 1 of an at least 3-part or 2-part series? Did you pick up the book and say, after having read this, I really don't care why Isom quit or where his powers come from or anything like that. I am having a hard time, really having a hard time understanding what appears to be a lack of enthusiasm. And I'm hoping it picks up over the next couple of days, but my goodness, that's some serious momentum that this campaign needs to gain. Now, he's got an extra reason to get some momentum. If you haven't heard by now, he's being sued by some dipshit Christian ministry who thinks that Isom somehow represents them. They've got this International School of Ministry, ISOM, and they think that somehow that Eric July is infringing on their trademark because Isom not only has the name Isom, but has a little cross on his belt. Well, whoop-de-freaking-do. We don't even know what that cross is for. We don't know what Isom is for. We don't know really anything about that, but I do know I've never heard of this International School of Ministry until now, so I can't possibly see how his trademark is supposedly competing with theirs. Oh, goodness gracious. I guess they're going to probably try and find some commonality in the fact that Isom went to church as a kid. Oh my gosh, So, hey, if you're a Rippaverse fan and you want to send some money to his legal defense fund, I can't think of a better way of doing that than going out there and buying your copy of Isom number 2. I mean, seriously, folks. You know me, I made 13 different videos on Isom number 1, the official trade dress critique videos on Isom number 1, and more than that, really. But even though I came to the conclusion that this was not a comic book that I could recommend to somebody, I never dreamed that the people who bought number 1 would not also buy number 2 and most likely number 3. I mean, number 2, when you're going to have these revelations about, possibly how Isom got his powers, but all we really know right now is why he quit, why wouldn't you want to see that? What was it? And really, this is where Rippaverse fans who are no longer fans could do me a service. If you bought Isom number 1 and have chosen not to buy Isom number 2 for some reason, why not? I'm really interested in hearing that because, like I said, I was going to buy number 2 from the start, even though I didn't care much for number 1. If number 1 had been crap on a stick, then I would have said, okay, I'm going to pass. But there's so many things to still like about number 1. The coloring's still good. The lettering's good. The art's good. The writing it's decent. It's got its issues here and there, but, it's not, none of it is so bad that I would say that somebody who got number 1 should not also be equally interested in number 2, just for the sake of getting at least 2/3 of the story in, and then deciding, maybe this is just not the book for me. And I'm just trying to figure out why it is that he managed to get 43,000 orders the first time, and only 20,000 orders this time, so far. And the two things that stand out in my mind is, number one, I think some of the people, since he got most of his sales from his YouTube base, my first thought is that some of those people had never read a comic book before, and they're just not into comics. And so when they got the comic, it was something where, as much as I'd like to support the guy, I still don't care for comics much, and so I'm not going to read anymore. There are people out there like that. I mean, you're probably looking at that like, what? You mean there's people who wouldn't read comics even if they could? But yeah, they exist. So there are people who are just not going to be good with comics as a sequential art form. They're not going to grasp, okay, what is it I'm reading here? I don't really understand. So, but they may have been fans of Eric such that they said, well, I want to support him on his first comic book company venture, and I'll go ahead and I'll plunk down. So that to me would be one example of a person who might have decided not to pick up number 2. The other person would be someone who was speculating on Isom number 1 and didn't see good enough returns. Although I don't know if that's really the reality or not. I haven't been keeping up with the eBay pages. I haven't seen the auctions, what the auctions are going for. When you can get a copy of the comic for $35 on the site, but you can't get that particular cover or that particular cover. I don't know whether the auctions wound up selling for much. I mean, I probably could have done a lookup before I did this video, but I'm just basically saying, if you were a speculator and you decided, I'm going to go and get, a few issues of these and I'll sell them at a profit on the market, and then you realized you weren't getting as good enough a turnaround as you expected, then, okay, well, I can see why you would want to drop off on number 2 for that. But beyond that, I'm having a hard time. Anybody who is really interested in the story and who got interested in Isom and the other characters in the story and wanted to see where the character was going, I mean, unless this story just completely turned you off, just completely bored you out of your seat, or there was some quality issue, and I know I brought up, like quality issue after quality issue in terms of the little things, but overall, I still thought that the story was passable to the point where you could get everybody from the first book to stay on to the next book. What happened? I mean, if you're a Rippaverse fan or former Rippaverse fan and you decided, yeah, buying Isom number 1, fine. Buying Isom number 2, not for me. I want to know why. So if you could tell me that, if you could put that in the comments, that'd be fantastic. Because I'm just marveling at the fact that I've been so far off on my estimation. It looks like. Now, who knows? Over the next 2 days, whether interest is generated from the fact that there is this lawsuit happening and people want to contribute in order to fund his side of the lawsuit, because these things are expensive and these things are dangerous to comic book companies. I don't know if you remember this from back in the day, but when Jim Shooter got forced out of Valiant and he founded Defiant, Marvel put the kibosh on Defiant by subjecting Defiant to a trademark lawsuit, because Marvel went and they created this comic called Plasma, and then Defiant had this comic called Plasm, and even though they changed the name to Warriors of Plasm, Marvel was basically able to sue Defiant out of existence by claiming that the trademarks were the same, and by claiming that there was too much similarity, even though there was practically no similarity between the two. And that's why this is a very dangerous lawsuit for Eric July to have to endure. So if people want to go and contribute to his legal defense fund by funneling money into this Isom number 2 campaign, well, now's your time. Now's the chance. But the other thing is just, where are y'all at? I mean, come on. Is this the way it worked the first time, by the way? Is this how it happened? I mean, is this where, I remember him hitting $1 million, hitting $2 million, but I don't remember when that last surge to $3.7 million happened. Did it all happen on the last weekend? I'm hoping it did, so I'm still holding out. I'm still holding out hope that my $3.2 million prediction is solid. And we're going to see that last $900,000 come in this weekend. Because otherwise, I'm just dead confused about where y'all are. So anyway, that's my update. Maybe I'll see y'all on the live stream on Sunday. I'll try and make an effort to at least be there in well, at least be there in spirit. No, I mean be there in chat. But yeah, y'all got some work to do. Get the credit cards out, get going, and start making your purchases, because otherwise, I guess y'all must be waiting for your online retailers or something to get some copies in. I mean, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm sorry, but I've saved up too much credit at my online retailer where I can get Isom number 2 for basically free. And I'm not about to contribute money into the campaign. Even though at this point I'd kind of like to, just to show my support. But, yeah, I got to save money where I can. Anyway, I'm Mike Partika. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, and let's all wish Eric July well. I'm not looking to see the company fold. I'm not a hater in that respect. I don't like comic books that are of mediocre quality, but that means I just want them to improve. I don't want to see the company go out of business just because some dickhead in a pastor's outfit decided he wanted to try and cash in on a successful comic book company. So big FU to that Isom Ministries, and much love to Rippaverse, and God, I just can't imagine. I can't imagine an ignominious end coming to the Rippaverse based off of some jackass Christian ministry trying to screw with them. So wow. All right, so with all that doom and gloom, I will leave you, and hopefully we will see a good ending and a good, speedy resolution to this. But we'll see. That lawsuit that got filed. That I went and I was watching Rippaverse Goalpost, who has a channel on YouTube, by the way. If you haven't found Rippaverse Goalpost's channel on YouTube, you should go check that out. He's got good recap of the lawsuit details, and points you also to Eric July's video on the lawsuit, and you should go check it out. He's got about 575 subscribers right now. It only takes about double that to get monetized on ads, but right now, in case, so by the way, Rippaverse Goalposts, if you didn't know, you can get like super chats, super thanks, those kinds of things now, so long as you've got about 3,000 public watch hours. The YouTube kind of lowered its standards a little in terms of giving you access to those things. So I've got access to those things on my channel now, so if anybody wanted to drop me money, they certainly could. Super chats, and although I haven't done many live streams lately, I'm kind of holding off on the live streams until I get Isom number 2 in hand, and I can start going through that. But any other kinds of things, the super thanks and whatever the other kinds of monetary things, super stickers and whatnot, those are actually open, so you might look into those, look into your monetization possibilities if you get a chance. Alright, okay, I'm rambling on. I will talk to y'all later. Mike Partika, please do subscribe, and see ya.